Yo, welcome back, loves. Last video was all about our cosmic ministry from a more intangible perspective, right? We spoke about business and business as our cosmic ministry and why it's so important that if we desire to grow spiritually and evolve on a conscious level, we have to have a grounded business for that. And with that, we kind of set the stage for today's video, which is much more practical. And I love both equally, right? We need the conception upgrade, like I call it sometimes, or the perception shift for us to even feel like we are worthy of creating a business or worthy of wealth. So this is why when we talk about the intangible, we shift something on the subconscious realm, which is super important, because if there's still a part of you that denies that business entrepreneurship is a path for you, or that feels like pursuing money is somehow superficial, greedy, or whatsoever, right? If that's still in place in your subconscious, you're not going to go out and do it. So we have to work on the belief system first and the intangible realm before we can get deeper into the practical steps, because there's no point in me sharing practical advice when it comes to business or the creation of business if you're still at a point where, like, I don't care about it. That's not for me. I just want to be on my mountain and I want to be this oracle that just meditates, and I'm deep in healing and energetic realms and I don't want to charge money, right? If you're still in this paradigm, there's no point in the tangible action steps that we're going to talk about today. So I want you to already think of yourself and see yourself as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. And we've already infused that word with what we mean by that, right? When we talk about business at Empress Energetics right here, baby, we always talk about our cosmic ministry. So we never look at business from, oh, that's just a way to make money with no purpose. No. So that's why watch last week's video. You are already an entrepreneur. You already have a business, okay? That doesn't need to be a physical business. And it's important for all of us to grasp that you own a business and you are an entrepreneur even before you have a service, you have a product, before your first video ever enters any of social media, whether that's YouTube or TikTok, or before any of your first Instagram posts. Because a business starts in the causal realm. This is where the God spark happens. This is when you're first infused with this, oh wait, I could do this. Oh wait, I could turn this into a stream of service, and with that, stream of income, right? That's that God spark. That's that God-given idea. That's that desire to turn your greatest gifts and your cultivated skills into something that is of service to others, and through that nourishes you. That's the moment of conception. That's when your business starts. So a lot of you watching are already entrepreneurs and business owners without ever having posted a video or ever having launched a product. And I want you to get really comfortable with that, okay? Because that's you. Now, there is a time, right, in which that business or you as an entrepreneur, it's invisible for other people, because there is the causal realm, which the idea is created. And then over time, it grows in your own cosmic womb before the world can see it. So it then moves into the subtle realm where you infuse that seed with your thought energy, where you look for inspiration, right? To get this momentum going for you to really launch the thing. And you launch your business not necessarily by putting a website up, but when you first bring something that is in the realm of your imagination onto the physical. in whichever way. Maybe it's by saying the name of your business out loud. Maybe it's by really declaring, I'm having a personal brand and this is my first post. Here I am. This is my message as my personal brand, as me, right? That's when the baby is born, basically. But a lot of it starts in the invisible realm for other people. Just because people can't see you as an entrepreneur yet does not mean that it hasn't happened. It's just like when you're in the third month, no one else knows that you're pregnant. Why was that word so hard for me? No one knows that you're pregnant, but you know that there's a baby growing inside of you. And just because your body hasn't gone through changes yet and someone else won't point at you and be like, oh wow, you have a big belly, you still know, whoa, hey, in 6 months from now, I will hold my baby. Same with the seed. If you plant a seed in the soil and you water it, no one else can see that, right? People could even trample all over it, not knowing that underneath their feet is a field of flowers about to blossom. But you know. And why am I giving you all of these metaphors? Because that's how nature works. There is a time where something that will be physical, something that will beautify this world, is invisible for other people, but for you, it already exists. And no one else needs to see it for you to know it is real and it exists. So all of you get comfortable with the fact that if there was an idea, if there was a desire, you are already an entrepreneur. So now how do we make this journey from the causal realm to the subtle realm to the actual physical world? And this is where I see a lot of us get, I don't want to say stuck, because we're never stuck, but I see some of us doing some extra loops and holding the baby in the womb for way too long. And so this is what we're going to be talking about today. So this is very tangible. Now, whatever business it is, it doesn't matter if you're excited about coaching and you want to launch your coaching career or your career as a content creator, right? These are just words and you infuse it with whatever is uniquely you. I'm just using the overarching term content creator or coach. That could mean anything, right? So, and every business falls under that category in some way. Even if you have a physical product that you're selling or a different service, you'll sooner or later have to learn the skill as a content creator. So let's say whatever business you want to create, you will have to fall under the category of content creator. So a lot of you that hold this baby in the womb, right? You're thinking about it. You can see yourself as that. You're doing a lot of the right things at the wrong time. So in this phase where we move from causal realm, or this spark, this thought moves from causal realm to the subtle realm, we need inspiration, right? This is where we usually start to watch multi-millionaire, even billionaire business experts, entrepreneurs, self-made millionaires, the whole coaching, motivational speakers situation is happening here. And we watch these people, we read books. And this is an important phase, right? We need to kind of get the bigger picture, and it motivates us and it's inspirational. And it also feels rewarding, even though we're not doing anything. And this is where I want to point out, be aware of what phase you're in, right? If you've watched a motivational video or a motivational speaker for the last 3 years every day and you haven't actually brought anything into the physical, you're probably in a loop, right? And you watch it and it feels rewarding and it feels like I'm doing this thing when you're not doing anything and your baby is like ready to pop out. So stop holding it in your womb, okay? When we watch these people, it's important for us to know that a lot of them talk about things that are not really relevant to you right now because they are in their 10th year of business, meaning they don't have a baby anymore. They have a 10-year-old. Some of them have a teenager, right? So they make 10 million a year or generate 500,000 a month. And they have all of these different income streams. And maybe they have now multiple businesses, like actually physical businesses, meaning they have employees or whatsoever. And they might throw a lot of valuable things out, but they talk from their current perspective. And so now you, with your little baby in your womb, no experience, right? You don't have any children yet, aka you don't have any businesses. You watch this and it's cool, but you're overwhelmed with all of the information that is thrown at you because it doesn't apply to you yet. And so I want to decomplexify this whole thing because I've seen so many of us, my friends, me included, people I work with, women I work with, in this phase where you think about things that aren't relevant yet. So a lot of you are concerned with, well, what niche do I fall under? And you take hours and days of creating your perfect client avatar, right? You strategize and you think about, well, should it be an LLC or an S Corp, right? What should it be? You invest $2,000 for someone to create a website for you, just so no one can see it. You strategize about your content. You think about what platform or what course creator platform is the right one for me. And you buy a membership for Kajabi or whatsoever, right? And you don't have a product yet. Or I've seen friends of mine invest 3 months of their life, like really going in depth and creating a course just for no one to buy it because they didn't have an audience yet. Or I've seen myself included, right? Getting so like caught up in how do I create an email flow and a newsletter flow when I didn't have anyone to join my newsletter. So you get the point. And I've seen a lot of us do this. And this is kind of an unintuitive way to approach business. Because regardless of what you're doing, again, regardless of the product you're selling, the service you're offering, if you're starting a coaching career, whatever it is, you all will have to become content creators. And at some point, yeah, there's the question of lead generation. There's the question of what's my core value offer? What's my premium value offer? How's my consistency? But these are things that are not important for you yet. Because if you focus on that, you make it so hard to even start, and there's so much resistance because you're overwhelmed and you don't have the bandwidth yet. These pillars are pillars that you'll master eventually once the first thing is mastered. And what's the first step? For all of us, for everyone. Content creation. Content, which means just make the damn video. Make the first Instagram post. Create the first ridiculous little awkward TikTok, right? Whatever it may be. Write the first blog on whatever, X or LinkedIn. When you have your business idea in the causal realm, in the subtle realm, the only thing that you need to master and start with is the content. Because it doesn't matter how perfect your website looks. It doesn't matter if you have the perfect funnel, landing page whatsoever, the perfect created product and course, if no one's finding you, if no one's watching you. So don't make it complicated. Just start with the content. And again, I always say that it will suck in the beginning, and that's okay. Even if you are super charismatic, even if you are an adept, a master at what you do outside of social media, even if you're a master in your field, translating that into content, into videos, whether it's YouTube or TikTok or whatever, right? Instagram, it doesn't matter. Translating your knowledge into content will always take some fine-tuning in the beginning. So we will always turn our shit into gold while other people are watching, and that's cool. So give yourself some grace. Stop thinking about all these strategies and the aesthetics. Like, yeah, that's fun. And if you want to do that. But be aware if it becomes a loop and an excuse not to actually take steps that will help people to find you, right? If that becomes an excuse for that, then drop it and only focus on the content creation, which will essentially be something that's fun to you because you're always talking about something that's close to your heart, that you're passionate about. So that's also going to be the most fun thing. And once you have that mastered, then you have enough bandwidth to move on to other things. But it's pointless, to me, at least in my opinion, to create a product not knowing who you're serving. And even if you have this perfect profile of your client avatar, you don't really know. So I like to say, throw some shit on the wall and see what sticks. And not everyone might agree. And I'm also not saying this is your strategy for the rest of your career. But what I'm saying right now is don't have a strategy. Just start to create content. And then you'll get feedback. And then you'll find your flow. And even just with me, right? With my very humble following, this is my training ground right now. I don't care what's going to happen in the next year because I am training for what's to come in 10 years from now, what's to come in 5 years from now. I'm learning how to become a better speaker. And what that means is I'm learning how to convey my teachings better so that they land. And when I started YouTube, it was awkward. It took me 2 weeks to prepare my first video. It took me 6 times to just go over it, and 6 attempts of turning on the camera, starting it, turning it off. It was so uncomfortable for me. And in the last year, this process has been so much easier for me. And I needed that, right? I needed that year of practice. And now I'm solidifying my teachings because as I go, I teach what I go through. And honestly, all of this, oh, how should my website look? How should this be? Was kind of a waste of time. And I've seen it, right? I've seen friends of mine being so kind of perfectionist and wanting to have that perfect aesthetic because they look at someone's 10-year-old, almost teenager business with the perfect aesthetic, the perfect social media, all of that, and compare it to their humble beginnings. And so they invest all this money into this perfect landing page and all of that, and it doesn't matter because if one person a month finds you, why are you investing $2,000 into a website that you are gonna change in a year or two anyways, because your style might change as you fine-tune your content. So make it easy for yourself. Start with the content. And in other arenas of life, that's what we intuitively do. That's what we would naturally be drawn to. For example, if you wanted to master Photoshop, you wouldn't binge watch 100 hours of Photoshop tutorials and then start your project. Or for me, I wanted to get into sound production. So I started with Ableton and I was totally overwhelmed because I'm you can master this program or this software for the rest of your life and there's still more to learn. So I didn't binge watch 100 hours of Ableton tutorials, but I opened the thing, I opened the software, I then went to YouTube. Okay, how do I record even? How do I turn on my mic? How do I connect my mic to the software? What do I have to do? And then step by step, I learned as I as I went on. Luckily, my dear friend Zosar is an absolute autistic. Like, she's a sound nerd. So when it came to the things, I was like, okay, how do I record something in that hertz frequency? Like, she helped me and she sat next to me, but she didn't explain all these things to me and was then like, here you go. No, I did it. And I'm like, oh, wait, what do I do now? And she's like, this is what you do now. So intuitively, that's what we would do. And with business, it's no different. So as you master the content, not immediately, but naturally, you will have an influx of leads coming your way. Like, the more followers you have, the easier it is to create leads. So take one step after the other. Now, all of these other aspects of your business, they will unravel to you over time. So let's say you have this running and you mastered your content and now you have 10,000, 20,000 followers and you're generating 10K a month. But now you see that for the last 6 months, you've been kind of stuck at 10K a month. That's now the time to ask yourself, okay, what is the next pillar that I'm perfecting? And now you can ask yourself, okay, how do I create leads and create more leads? How do I convert more leads? How do I get someone from the outer circle into the inner circle? What are my core value products, right? It's like, these are all of the pillars that you can fine tune, because if you can make 10K, you sure as heaven. I'm attempting not to swear too much. Can generate 20K. If you can generate 20K, you can generate 40K. If you can generate 40K, you can generate 100K. Like, you get the point. So there's always like the next thing that you can master, and you can look at, well, do I have great core value offers? Do I have premium offers? Do I have a great lead magnet? How can I generate more leads, right? These are all pillars that are then opening up, and one at a time, you then master one pillar, your bandwidth expands because now you have that going, that's in flow, and then you can focus on the next one, right? But if you observe someone that has a 10-year-old business and everything is just in place, that really allows all of the money to stream to them with ease and grace, they have become a pristine householder. If you look at this and you're like, oh, wait, now I have to do all of these things first, it's going to create too much resistance. It's going to be overwhelming. So again, I'm going to say it one more time because I think you get the point. Start with the content, and everything else will come as you go on. I am very sure that for some of you that was helpful, because I just found myself saying the same thing over and over again to women individually. So I'm like, let's just create a video and let's get it out there and make it simple, make it easy. If you crave more assistance in that process, basically bringing your baby from the causal realm into the physical realm, check out the garden container. It would be an honor to work with the right fitting person and see if that even benefits you. I love you, and I hopefully see you next week. Bye, my loves.